Hi, this is Flash from the Daily Drive. Today I want to clear up a misconception about hiring a general contractor um, versus hiring a handyman. A lot of people, um, are under the um, understanding that hiring a general contractor is safer and better than hiring and using a handyman, and they're correct in some instances. In some cases, as long as the contractor that they're hiring has the appropriate license for the job, they can be safer and they can be better for them in their, that prospective project. Um, a general contractor can file the permits for them, for example, releasing the homeowner for that type of a liability that they would accept under the terms of getting the permits themselves and using a handyman. But on the flip side, there are situations where a contractor legally cannot do handyman work. And I'm going to specifically talk about the state of California. And I urge you to check the states, check the state that you're in and check the laws and the contractor laws where you are, where you have your project or you're doing business. Um, but so in California, a general a general contractor carrying a B license. That general means that he has to do a minimum of 2 unrelated trades. Now, the only single trade he can do is framing. So he can do a framing job, but any other job that that he does. So he can do framing or carpentry. Okay, but um, you know, but like any other type of project that you would need done on your house, for example, for a handyman, you have different repairs and fix it things and fix this door and fix this window and do this, to replace this outlet, this, the electrical outlet, and you have all of these trades, which is fine if you have multiple things to be done. If you have unrelated trades now, and that does not count the carpentry. Okay, so they have to have do a 2 minimum unrelated trades, and they're not allowed to add in that framing or carpentry as one of those trades. Okay, so they, for example, if they're doing a remodel job or an addition or something for you, it's going to fall in that because you're going to have the framing, which they can't count, and they're going to have electrical, they're going to have drywall, they're going to have painting, they're going to have plumbing, they're going to have all of these other things that make them legal to do this job. But if you call them out because you have a door that's sticking, or you have a drawer that's sticking, or you have an electrical outlet you want to change, the only way to get a licensed contractor to do these trades is to get a specific licensed contractor. So that contractor would have to carry a license for electrical, okay, a license for doors and windows. There are specific licenses that allow you to get those contractors. The problem with having all of these different contractors is, obviously it's not cost effective for anyone, because now that electrician is going to charge more because that's all he's doing, or that, so as far as cost effective, if you can find a handyman that you trust, or a handyman that you've screened, or you find a certified, UHA certified handyman to do your job, then you're going to be better off in most cases, because that handyman can do all of the things, or they can do one thing. Or a general, and most of the contractors you're going to run across, they're general contractors. Okay, so that's one of the things that you need to be specific about, and you need to ask them, what license do they carry? If they tell you in California, if they tell you they carry a B license, then that's a general license requiring them to do these multiple trades. So for them, it's a $500 fine if they get caught at this point. For you, the liability is you've now hired a contractor to do work for you that isn't covered or backed by their license, and they're not covered and backed by their insurance. So what's the point in hiring a general contractor if they don't have a license and they don't have insurance? There is no point. So you're better off hiring a handyman. Now, do you just get a handyman and accept that, okay, he's a handyman, so he must be, professional, and he must be trustworthy and all those things? Absolutely not. So, the reason I started the UHA was for exactly that reason, because I wanted the handyman to be able to do these jobs still having the backing of an organization that's going to screen them, background them, certify them, back them if there's a problem. So we do all that. And then if there's a problem and some people are afraid, okay, if you hire an unlicensed contractor, they're going to, they have no incentive. Maybe they'll take your money and run. And that's why the UHA has that $5,000 backing. So if they take that money and run, well, you just come to us and we pay you back for your loss. And that's where we're putting our, basically putting our guarantee on these guys that we run screenings on. But if you're stuck on hiring a licensed contractor, which is absolutely fair and in some cases absolutely the right thing to do, just make sure that the licensed contractor you have is licensed properly. Make sure that they are, able legally to do your job. There are a lot of contractors out there that are doing handyman work, and they're not working within their license. There's a big handyman business that's working all over the place called Mr. Handyman. Mr. Handyman in California is a state contractor. They're a general contractor. They carry a B license and they have to do a minimum of 2 trades. So, so if you hire Mr. Handyman thinking, oh my gosh, they're so professional, they've got insurance, they've got a license, well, you know what, make sure that their license is going to work for you. So Mr. Handyman wouldn't be the guy that you call that needs to come out and, open up your door for you or come out and, clean your grout. So just make sure that the guys that you use are screened. Contractors, most of the time, just because they're a general contractor doesn't mean that they're the best for the job. A lot of contractors actually don't know how to do the job. They're a contractor and they hire people to do the job. So if you want somebody that's hands-on, most of the time you're going to go with a handyman, because that handyman is hands-on and he's been doing it and he learned it from the ground up and he spent the time to be a quality professional, and he had no, all of his incentive is to be the best at what he does, because he's not just building a business to hire guys and, so he's, most of the time handymen are good skilled tradesmen. So just make sure that those guys are, screened and do it yourself. If you can, you can join the My Home and you can have the UHA do it for you. We monitor them, we screen them, we make sure that, we do checking, we make sure that their insurance is current. We will check for you every time you're going to use them. We'll check we just automatically check them twice a year and randomly, but you can do that yourself. You don't have to come to us. If your handyman is certified by us, then your My Home is free. So, ask your handyman. If he's certified, then ask him about referring you to My Home, to the UHA, so we can get you set up with your free membership, being sponsored by your certified handyman. So there are options. And you just have to make sure that whoever you hire for your project is the right one. And if they aren't and something happens, make sure that you're covered. Make sure that you've covered all your bases and you checked them out. And it's totally up to you who you hire, and whether it's a UHA business or it's someone that you're going to check on your own. The only thing that we recommend is that you just do your due diligence and you just make sure that your guys are quality. Make sure their quality is safe, that they have insurance, they have a properly structured business, because that's the problem with using handyman. Is most handymen, I would say 9 out of 10 handymans that register with the UHA, at least 9 out of 10, don't have a business license when they first come in, don't have insurance when they first come in, and some of these guys have been in business for 10, 15 years, okay? So just because they say they are a business doesn't mean that they are. So they come into us and we kind of help them and influence them and show them how to get their business going properly. But the only incentive that these guys have to do that is from you. If you will only hire guys that, have a business and that are taking care of their responsibilities, then it's going to force all these guys to do that. So, I'm not here just to push the UHA. I'm here to push being safe. I'm here to push quality, responsible home repair, and I want that regardless if it's a handyman or contractor, and I want that from you as the homeowner too, okay? Because that responsibility lies on you as well to make sure that who you hire is also quality and safe, okay? So put the blame everywhere, and everyone works together, and let's just be safe, and let's just make sure everything is in the up and up. So again, just to recap, just make sure your contractors, if you're going to use a contractor, make sure that they have the proper contractor's license. On the state contractors board in California, to verify what I'm talking about, it is code 7057 A and B. Talks about how a general contractor has to do a minimum of 2 completely unrelated trades, and that then that does not count carpentry and framing. So if you want to have them hire them to build you a deck, they can absolutely do that under their license. But just be careful when you call them to do something else that does not fall within their license. This was Flash with the Daily Drive. Happy home repairs. Bye.